Moin! Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Coming to you right now from Western Canada. I'm Mace, and today we got Tom Hanks, and he's going to be talking about the German Autobahn, apparently. This should be cool. Love Tom Hanks, fantastic actor. Forrest Gump, come on. Life is like a box of chocolates. Great performance. I'm particular to his performance and the film Castaway 2. I really like that one. He's had an amazing career, obviously. Road to Perdition. What are his most famous roles? Like Big. You can't forget Big. It's definitely a classic. And yeah, he's still going these days. I think the last one I watched him in was called A Man Called Otto, which might get you a little bit teary-eyed by the end of it. All right, let's check this out, man.
Tom,
I'm guilty.
tell me about you were in Germany, and I was wondering if you were over there working on a film.
I was working on a film called Cloud Atlas with Halle Berry and a bunch of other people. Cloud Atlas.
What a lovely title. What's
Never watched it. I know it's based on a novel, which I have somewhere around here. Maybe I should give it a try one day. But it's a huge, very ambitious story.
the film about?
It's very difficult to explain. It's about the Wachowskis and Tom Tickford directed. It'll be out in a year and a half, Dave. I'll be back to chat it up.
What is the source material?
It's oddly enough, it's a book called Cloud Atlas.
Cloud Atlas,
yeah.
But about
It
a...
spans
It's about
pilot?
a bunch
thousands
of
of
people
years, I
together
think.
and all over time, and how we are all but what is an ocean but a multitude of drops. I know, he's going to go right through.
Right.
Really great. When in doubt, tight. Have you ever been to Germany, Dave?
Been to Germany a couple of times.
Germany's a great place. I fell in love with Germany.
What did you do there? Where were you, and what did you do
I was
when you weren't
I was
working
in
the film?
Berlin. I was in Dresden. I had the thing, and I did not drive because I didn't know how to get to the studio. So I had Racer X. My driver drove me every day.
Racer X?
Yes, it was the best way to describe who he was. He was an
German driver.
Yes, and he drove me. And the thing, he explained to me the deal about driving without any speed limit in Germany.
Oh, on the Autobahn.
On the Autobahn.
Yep.
We were we were driving to and from Dresden from the hotel, and I said, "What?"
What's the recommended again? 130? So this should be cool. The recommended, mind you, right?
Why are you driving so slowly? In this area, you must drive 80 kilometers an hour.
Oh.
Because there was a little sign, 80 with a circle on it. But when you go past the sign that says 120 with a line through it, the gloves are off, baby. You can drive. You can drive.
Really?
Government is off your back in Germany, and you can drive. The man says drive as fast as you want.
Is that right?
And I said, okay, we got to drive back to Berlin. I want you to unwind this VW. By the way, I don't know what kind of cars they are. They're all Volkswagens.
Do I show them?
They might say, well, not yet.
Okay.
Listen, I sweat these bits, Dave.
You're fine.
Don't pull these out, man.
Yeah. Well,
You know what? Those five
other
other guys who just do the show.
Volkswagen, Mercedes, right? Mercedes-Benz, BMW.
Oh, yours, I lose sleep over,
Oh,
Dave.
well, I appreciate that.
I've been working on these bits
My
since
God,
Halloween, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So I said, driving back, I said, from Dresden to Berlin, drive as fast as you possibly can. And man, he did. The highways in Germany are as straight and flat as airport runways. And I don't know how fast we went, but I think in the conversion, how do you convert it, Dave? Paul?
You just convert it as best you can.
Do you multiply it by
Kind
6?
of metric into
Like 100 kilometers is 60 miles an
Okay,
hour.
we were going like 120, 130, which I think is 700 miles per hour. And we went, we made it from Dresden to Berlin in about 17 minutes. It was
Whoa.
the most exciting, but here's the deal. The cheeks were pushing back like that. Slow down, Racer X, slow down! He actually did stop at one point because he had to pee. But we still made it.
And
like
this was all in a Volkswagen.
Well, they're all Volkswagen.
Do I go to the
Not
thing?
yet,
Okay.
Dave.
I don't know.
Will you read these cards before I come on the
Sorry,
show?
I've been busy.
Later on, I drove that car.
But you don't want to see it now.
No, I'll show it now.
Now?
Well, if we got time before you go to one of your sad sack commercials.
It might be a commercial for one of your films.
Oh, let's watch it.
We'll be right back with Tom Hanks.
I wonder how fast Racer X was going, because say he's going 140, 150 in the far left lane on the Autobahn. Drivers are going to be coming up saying, get out of the way, right?
Everybody.
We just did some.
Okay,
great
so
stuff.
now you're in Germany.
Yeah, and I wanted to drive.
Racer X. Yeah.
I wanted to see how fast I could possibly drive. So I called up the folks at
you try
VW,
it?
which is the only car company in Germany. There are no other cars except VWs. Even if they say Ford and Range Rover, they're actually VWs inside. So I said, can I test drive a car? They said, oh, yes, we have a car. We'd love you. And they gave me this, I love camper vans, and they gave me this VW camper van. It's called the California. I said, this is great. And they said, oh, I'm glad you like it. It's not for sale in America.
Oh. I know you did this with your
called
own.
the California.
Yeah.
I did. I have another old one, and my old van has a, literally it's a bus.
Yeah,
it's
bus
like
wheel.
this. These new ones, Dave, that steering wheel is like this. You can shape like that, and it drives like a fruit bat out of hell. This thing.
But they can't. There's no speed, is there, with these things?
The torque, Dave, the torque, as it was explained to me, means that you can get that bad boy up to easily 130, 140 kilometers an hour, which I did.
Oh my God!
It was fantastic.
Were you?
130, 100. Did you say kilometers an hour? I'm surprised he's saying kilometers an hour, but
30, 140 kilometers an hour, which I did.
Oh.
that's not very fast, Tom.
Oh my God!
It was fantastic.
Were you scared?
I was not. The only time I got scared, Racer X was scared the entire time. Because he also had to translate the German GPS, which always sounded like Abstand Widerfluss. Which meant, veer left in 2 kilometers. And then you're on for a while, Abstand Widerfluss. which is like turn right at Poland. It was like literally like that. And the two folks who worked for me, they were petrified in the back. But I loved it. And the only time I got scared was no matter how fast you're driving in Germany, someone is driving faster than you.
Great point. No matter how fast you're driving, someone is driving faster. So, that's funny. Get into the middle lane, right?
That's right.
And you cannot linger in that left lane. If you do,
Pass
they
it.
will. They'll
A lot of light flashing.
They'll pull your passport.
Yeah,
Dave. So you got to get back over. And when another car passes you, when you are driving as fast as physics allowed, it does not pass you like it doesn't. It passes you like this. No.
Yes, that's right.
And a blur
That's
goes
right.
past you.
And you could be sucked into their.
I mean, that car, go like that.
Yeah,
And
disturbs
sometimes it's a red blur, sometimes it's a white blur. It goes past you like that. It's kind of like Romeo. But I had a fabulous day. We drove from Berlin to Eisenhüttenstadt, of course.
Eisenhüttenstadt.
Eisenhüttenstadt.
It was my destination.
I don't know what that is.
Eisenhüttenstadt is a model city built by the communists in 1953 to show people the great and wonderful life that socialism would give them right up until the entire system went to crap.
Yeah.
It's actually an amazing architectural place where it's a place where they're trying to rebuild it so that young and old people. Fascinating place. I loved going there.
A lot of cement.
A lot of cement.
Yep.
A lot of
I'm gonna have to look that up now.
building complex number 1, and then we saw complex number 2. Then we walked over to complex number 3. And then guess where we went after that, Dave?
Going out on a limb here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we saw complex number 4.
Now do I show the picture?
Well, now you can show this picture.
Okay.
Now, in the old days, back in the day, when it was still called Stalinstadt, no lie, Eisenhüttenstadt looked like this. None of the buildings had paint. They all looked like this. And this is to prove that that's me taking a picture, and this is what they looked like back then. And isn't that amazing, Dave?
You know, I didn't know. I thought that was Racer X.
No. Racer X was in the car. I got a great walking tour from a guy who didn't speak a lot of English, but he says, how long do you have for your tour? And I said, well, here's the bad news. I have a bit of a cold and I got to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I got about an hour and a half. And he looked at me like this. Well, this is not enough time to see Eisenhüttenstadt. But no, he was very nice.
Is there ever enough time to see
This picture is this is like from 1962, and that was essentially the socialist store where you would go and buy your orange at Christmas time and your pair of socks from Vietnam in the spring. That would be all they had.
I mean,
but look, this is actually what it must have looked like. No cars, no people, no nothing, just a dearth of everything. But
what does it mean? What does it mean, Eisenhüttenstadt?
Eisenhüttenstadt means Iron Hut City, or Ironwork City because they built it for all the people who worked in the iron mill that's down there.
And this was to be the pride of the communist bloc country.
You would live there, you would work there, you would dance at Komsomol dances, you would shop and get your oranges and socks once a year, and you would love living.
It's like that at Disney World. Remember when they had that community of Epcot, and then they had that Jubilee where you could actually buy
a house there. And people still live there, and it's actually a gorgeous place. Now this was crazy. This was a sign that was in Eisenhüttenstadt. I believe that's complex number 3, 1, 2, 3. And we spent about 20 minutes trying to figure out what the hell this sign means. Can you?
God,
I do not know, because I'll tell you something. There is not a single house in Eisenhüttenstadt that looks like that.
Right.
I mean, it's probably those white smears or whatever that is in the middle. I don't think are part of it. You have an adult and a child, a car coming through a roadway, a house. Probably saying this is a residential neighborhood. Be cautious of pedestrians or people crossing, I guess.
And there are no cars that look like that.
This person has been thrown out of a moving car.
I think so, yeah. That might be.
I don't know. That's racer X.
We tried to. I think we said what this sign actually means in an odd communist kind of way is no dogs allowed. Because you notice, there's not a dog in that picture.
That's the only thing not there.
Here's what you're allowed to have. You can have a mad child, you can have the child in a car, and you can have a house, but you can have no other thing.
No, nothing else. So, and all of this just ahead.
3.2 meters. Meters? I don't know what that means.
Good
I think
Lord.
That means this sign has been hung 3.2 meters above the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I don't. Now, I'm making fun.
Tom.
I had a great time.
You're making fun of the Germans.
And I got to say, I met the Bürgermeister, and I'm going back to Eisenhüttenstadt as soon as I'm anywhere near the Polish border.
I'll be with you. We'll be right back with Tom Hanks, everybody.
So I didn't know anything about this so-called Eisenhüttenstadt, his socialist-built town that he was going on about. Interesting. Sounds interesting. I'm definitely going to have to search it up now. The Autobahn. Everybody loves the Autobahn. It's a great album by Kraftwerk. Great album. All right, you guys. Tschüss, auf Wiedersehen. That segment was all right. Tom's impressions of the Germans was relatively humorous. Not the most accurate, but humorous all nonetheless. Yeah, good stuff. All right. Cheers.